today I was trying to actually set up my phone because I don't have my webcam connected. So I was trying to set up my phone so that I could like go live, and I nearly dropped it, and there's been a whole thing. So I just thought I'd come on really, really quickly, obviously unprepared, because I wanted to talk to you about I can't meditate, because this just came up in another group today, and I'm just like, I hear this all the time, right? Like people just saying, I can't meditate. Your journeying is useless for me. Um, it's a real problem. I've tried my whole life. And usually, like, if this is not you, then fair enough, right? Don't fucking come at me in the comments or whatever, right? But usually, 99% of the time when I actually dig in a bit and question with people, they've like tried 3 or 4 times, or they tried for a week, or they tried one particular technique or whatever, and then it just didn't work. And they said, that's it, I just can't meditate, and all the rest of it. Now, I've had that experience myself. When I was a baby pagan, I could not meditate. And that was the techniques that I was being taught. And do you know what I did? I kept trying. I kept showing up, and I kept trying. And eventually, I figured out, or I didn't even figure out, I just started having experiences that were different to what I was being taught. And that is how my own journeying methodology developed, right? So that's how that happened. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Revolution. Got some live people on right now. And so, like, I do get it. I do get how difficult it is. But when I have people coming at me with, like, I can't meditate, I've tried, and I'm just going to give up now, I think of my nephew, who is a gym manager, and he'd be talking about people coming in, and lads coming in when they expect to see the biggest weight machines, and they can just go over and lift them the straight. So like, if somebody came into a gym for like the first day and the second day and the third day and the fourth day, and say they even went in for a week, right, and they were trying to lift these big massive weight machines that they had no physical training for, that they'd no experience with, that they hadn't built up any muscles, that they hadn't built up any of their exercises or anything like that. And they're still trying to, and then they turn around then at the end of the week and they say, oh, okay, that's it, I can't exercise. That's it. I tried my best. Obviously, I'm being beaten here, and I just can't exercise. And that's really what you sound like when you say you can't meditate, because there are like a million different ways to meditate. There are different techniques, from mindfulness to guided meditation to, like, this is an ages old practice that people have been doing. And you can go at it from science, you can go at it from spirituality, you can go at it from like a myriad of different ways, right, to find something that works for you. And the only way you're going to do that is by trying. And the only way you're going to get good at it is by showing up every day. So I'm going to give you the advice. It's a muscle, exactly, Kavy. You have to build it up. Hi on it. So I'm going to give you the same advice. If you can't meditate, the advice that I will give you is the same advice I put in the group today, which is fucking practice, right? You have to practice. You have to show up every day. And even that, people say, oh, I tried practicing and it didn't work, right? When I say practice, I'm talking about working at it for a year, right? At least, before, and like, you could be working at a particular technique for 6 months before you figure out that maybe this one isn't for you, right? Or you could try a new one each month. Whatever is going to work for you is going to work for you, right? But you have to keep showing up. You have to keep practicing. And what I said today was like, 5 minutes, everybody can show up for 5 minutes every day for a month, right? I'm not saying it doesn't get to be a pain in the hole. Of course it does, right? But you just keep showing up. And do that every day for 5 minutes. When your mind wanders, which when you're starting, it inevitably does. My mind still wanders fucking 25 years later after practicing, right? You just keep bringing your mind back. I mean, there's Headspace, there's the Calm app, there's many, many different ways that you can, different apps, different technologies. There's so much support available, right? You can get a million books on meditation. but just start with like a 2-minute practice, start with a 5-minute practice, but do it every day for a month. Then raise it by like a minute, 2 minutes, right? Do 5 minutes every day for a month. Then, maybe work up to 7 or 8 minutes and do that for every day for a month. So you're already 3 months in and you're starting to build those muscles, right? And you're going to be finding it easier, and you're going to be finding that your mind still wanders, right? You still get that voice in your head that's telling you that you can't do the thing, but you just keep showing up. You go on to 10 minutes, right? At that point, maybe go over to the irishpaganschool.com and start with the Getting Started with Meditation and Guided Journeys, the free course that's over there. And that's the reason that I put this stuff out there for free, because it really does take like these tiny, tiny steps. I don't want somebody coming into my like later journeying classes who hasn't done this work, right? Well, I mean, you can come in, obviously you can, right? Of course you can, and you can go back and do the work after, but it takes the foundation of doing this work to really get the benefit out of the stuff that I can teach you later on, right? To really get the benefit out of like my 6 months OM Journeys practice program, you're going to have to be able to fucking focus for 5 minutes. Otherwise, you're just, not that you're going to be wasting your time, but because you will learn if you start at the kind of the more complicated stuff. If you're showing up every day, you absolutely will learn, right? The same way. But you're just starting, you're kind of giving yourself a hard time, right? So just show up every day for 5 minutes for a month, right? And see how you get on. Journal it. Get in a Facebook group. Get in I run an Irish Otherworld Journeys group on Facebook. Get in there and, let us know how you get on with your breathing exercises, but show up every day. And if you have done that for 6 months, then come and talk to me about not being able to meditate, because then there might be some kind of other issue, psychological issue, problem, something like that. At that point, that's when you start exploring those kind of things, right? If you haven't done daily meditation practice and breathing exercises and mindfulness for 6 months, then that is your problem, all right? There isn't a bigger problem here. Now, okay, there might be a bigger problem as well, maybe, but Occam's razor, right? The simplest solution is probably the solution. I probably fucked that up, but you know what I mean, right? So I know this came across a little bit ranty, but it is literally, I am hearing this stuff every single day, and most of it is from people just not doing the work, and we are conditioned to think that everything should be fucking handed to us on a plate, especially in modern neo-pagan spirituality. Everything should be handed to us on a plate. And this isn't about any one person. And if you've come to me and said, I can't meditate, then this is not about you, right? I literally hear this all the time. I can't even count the amount of times that I've heard this. And 98, 99% of the time, if I actually take the time and spend my time digging in with somebody, like if I was to do that with every single person, and ultimately we're just going to get to the same fucking thing of they didn't show up, they didn't do the work, they didn't, and I'm over here like a dickhead wasting my time, right? Because they're just not showing up, or they're expecting an easy answer or a quick fucking fix. And that is not how this stuff works. You have got to show up. Same way you've got to show up for your gods, the same way you've got to show up for yourself every single day. All right? So this is really, really on the fly. My other videos are usually a little bit better. If this is the only one you're watching, then, sorry for the wibbly screen and all the rest of it. But I just thought that it was going to be a useful message for people to hear, because I need to hear this sometimes as well. So, sorry, I have to stop doing that. So, like, subscribe, do all the rest of it, and go over to the Irish Pagan School and figure out the meditation practices over there. There's some really, really good exercises, and it's all free. It's Getting Started with Meditation and Guided Journeys, irishpaganschool.com. Okay? Slán. You're welcome. Sorry for being so ranty. Not really sorry, though, because sometimes people just need to hear it, okay? Slán go fóill.